Good evening, good afternoon, and good morning for anyone who attended the meeting tonight. Thank you for coming to join us for this information session for the 2022 Art of Sciences Summer Camp. We are so excited that finally, after 2 years of pandemic, it's possible we can do the camp again in person. So for tonight's meeting, we are going to have a general introduction of the camp. My name is Igor, I'm the camp director. And then we will have all the faculties and counselors introduce themselves, their curriculums, and then we'll talk about how to prepare for the camp and then the fun thing we're going to do for the activities at the camp and how to arrange your travel and the lodging, those kind of things. So at the end, we will have a Q&A session. The meeting is planned for 1.5 hours. We may run a little bit longer than that. And then we also record the meeting. So if for any of your friends interest, you can share it with them later. So right now, let's start it. So the Art of Sciences Camp is established by the company called RMC Academy. RMC Academy was founded by a group of dedicated students, parents, and coaches to promote K education for K-12 students. We are focusing on many different aspects of students' education. We want to give the students a chance to get to know many different subjects and then to find the one they really fall in love with. So for our summer camp and also our previous years winter camp and summer camps, we always run a multidisciplinary curriculum. So there will be various subjects in STEM, and then there's also other subjects like business, writing, photography for this time. And in our previous camp, we had like debate and other subjects. So we want to give students a chance to be exposed to different fields. So for this 2022 summer camp, finally it's in person in the St. Olive College at Northfield, Minnesota. So from our schedule, you can see it's really packed. So first on July 17th, the Sunday night, we will have an opening ceremony with a keynote speak and icebreaker activities for students and counselor and faculty to know each other. And then the week 1 is 5 days of teaching from July 18th to July 22nd. So, and week 2 is 6 days of teaching from Sunday, July 24th to Friday, July 29th. And then the July 29th evening, we'll have a closing ceremony and people can start check out the Saturday after. And you can see from the schedule, we have different classes. So the morning classes, the Python class run for 2 weeks. The UASCO class also run for 2 weeks. And then the week 1 morning also has physics. Week 2 has chemistry. For the afternoon class, the first week we have writing or 2 different levels of math. And for the second week, in the afternoon, we have business, biology, or photographer. So for any of the session, you can student can choose, depends on their interest or their level, which class they are going to take at each session. And at evenings, we'll have many activities. So you can register on our website at rmcacademy.org. And then there's some stats shows the grade distribution of our students for the past 5 camps. You can see majority of the students are 8th grade and 9th grade. And so far for this year, our goal is to get 90 students. And currently there are 16 students registered and the grade distribution is showed on the right, which is consistent with the past years. And on our registration website, the important thing is there's a registration form you need to fill. You need to read all the rules, and then there is the button you can click on to check out. So as a student or as a parent escort, and we also provide photography class for adult the afternoon of the first week. So now I'm going to give the speaker to all our faculties. They are going to take turns to introduce themselves and their class. And here's the order. They are going to go from math to business, writing, photography, and then physics, chemistry, biology, and to computer science class. So first, Pasha, you can go ahead. And just let me know when you want me to click on the next slide.
Okay, hi everybody. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Hi everybody. My name is Pavlo Pilявski. I'm a professor at University of Minnesota. So I'll be teaching a class on mass Olympiad combinatorics. This will be, well, I've been teaching every year as this camp has been out. I taught both in person and over Zoom. I think this is a great camp, and I sort of, when my kids are old enough, I will hopefully send them to this camp too. So my background, I did a lot of mass Olympiads when I was in school myself, and I got several IMO medals when I did that. And then I went, because I won those medals at IMO, I got admitted to MIT, and I finished MIT. I got PhD from there, and now I work as a math professor at University of Minnesota. And my specialty is actually algebraic combinatorics, which is kind of related to what I'll be teaching this summer. Okay, you can probably scroll down to the next slide. Okay, so both classes will be the younger and the older kids. I'll teach introduction to Olympiad combinatorics. And okay, so here, sorry, that's my baby. So here's some features of how I teach. So one thing I try is that even though I teach often young kids, I teach basic, I try to teach those, everything I teach with emphasis on proofs. I think sort of it's a great misfortune of American Olympiad systems that for a while kids don't get to learn to write proofs, they don't get to practice it enough. And I think it's very important to learn to formulate correct, rigorous arguments. So that's one thing. So another thing which I really try to do is that I try to make my classes interactive. There are less lectures and more workshops. Sort of, at the beginning, I start with explaining a topic, showing some examples, but after that, I usually split students into teams and let them try to solve problems themselves, and I go around the room and try to help them. And one thing when I was just starting to do my Olympiad math training, my teacher always would tell me that it's better to solve one problem yourself than to read solutions to 10 problems or watch solutions to 10 problems. So, and that's sort of what we are trying to achieve there. We have pretty large chunk of time. And in this chunk of time, I try to get every student to absorb material enough to solve at least one or two problems themselves. And this way, and the feedback I get from students at the end is usually really good. So for example, last summer I taught Mass Olympiad geometry, and one student, well, actually several students at the end told me, well, I never understood what was angle chasing, but now I understand what is angle chasing. And I was really happy. So that was my goal, that maybe I don't cover every topic I could possibly cover, but the topics I cover, people actually start understanding really well. And that's, okay, I don't know what else to add. I hope I try to make those things fun. And usually I think this camp goes great. So I hope you will like it. And I think I'll pass it to the next professor.
Hi, I'm Nicholas Wang. I'll be teaching the number theory class. I'm a current underclassman at the NYU Quran, working towards a math major. Back in high school and middle school, I did a lot of math competitions such as the AMCs, AMY, JMO, and some regional ones such as HMMT or ARML. I'm still involved in math-related activities. I took the Putnam competition as part of the NYU team. I'm not as experienced as Mr. Pipilovs, but I do enjoy teaching, and I have some experience with other camps such as the Awesome Math Summer program, and I've also done some extensive volunteer work at tutoring centers in my hometown. Next slide. So the for the number theory class, similarly to the combinatorics class, it's going to be split into two sections for younger and then older students, depending on pre-existing knowledge. For the lower level class, we're going to be going over more basic things such as we're going over the basic divisibility rules, prime factorization, GCD, LCM, so on, and we'll be ending off with algebraic factorization. The more advanced class is going to cover kind of the later ends of the more basic one, but in a bit more depth, and they'll also go into things such as Diophantine equations and modular arithmetic. For both sections, the general class structure, next slide, please. For both class, the general structure will be there'll be a short lecture on kind of the basic material, the knowledge that you'll need to use for the problem set. And then the rest of the lecture is going to be set on kind of an in-class problem set where I and the TAs of the class will be kind of available to answer any questions you have. And then there'll be a review of that. And then there's also going to be homework sets, which are recommended that you do to make sure that you understand the material. So considering that, that's kind of an overview of what a day's class would look like. So then we're going to introduce the TAs or the counselors for the camp, for the math courses.
Okay, hi everyone. I'm Michelle. I'm a junior from Lyzetta, and I've been doing like math competitions with an MN All-State team since like middle school, like HMMT, Armo, and Amy, and I'm really excited to meet new students and help them with any questions that they have.
Is Catherine here? Catherine is 11th grade at our Central High School, and she has been participating in many different math competitions as well. Leah.
My name is Leah, and I am an active participant in math contests. I was a math counselor last year for the previous summer camp, and I hope to see everyone be excited about math this year as well.
Hi, I'm Aurora. I am a junior at Mounds View High School. I've also been doing a lot of math competitions since middle school, like math counts, AMC, Amy, and Armel and stuff like that. And I'm really excited to meet everyone and help everyone this year.
Is Leo here? Leo also has been our camp counselor for a few years, and then he has been participating in many different math competitions, and he got his GMO, I think, 7th grade. And their team just won the Puma yesterday. Okay. Sorry, wait. Okay, so Dr. Meng, you can go ahead.
All right. Hello, everyone. This is Jingwei, and well, I have been working with AOS for the past 3 years. So, but this year we're going to focus on one particular track of the MBA for Youth program, and it's called the Fundamentals of Finance. But it will cover some of the basic business concepts as well. So I would divide it, all the knowledge you can learn from those business classes, into 2 sets. One set is really hard skills. It's related to specifically to a particular area. For example, for this summer camp, it will be focused on the financing, accounting skills, and students will learn what is the financial statement, and actually we are going to create a company together, and we'll construct the financial statement together. So it will be very interactive with the students, and then towards the end of the summer camp, we will spend some time to do a case study. And in this case study, it's a merger and acquisition case study, and the students will be able to use the techniques they learn from the class and to analyze the enterprise value change during this M&A process. However, the other set of skills that we also emphasize is the soft skills. And those soft skills, including the presentations, negotiation, how to collaborate and how to listen and how to manage their times and create a sort of action plan to finish the final project. So those things is actually integrated with the whole process of learning. Okay, next slide, please. So over the past 3 years, the first track we actually provided in the AOS is actually focusing on marketing strategy. So those part of the classes has been offered in 2020 summer and winter. And actually last summer, and we switched to another track, which is a business strategy. And we talk about internal business analysis. And then last winter camp, we focus on special topics, especially in law and ethics in business and also negotiation skills. So this summer, 2020 summer, will be in person. And I started this MBA for Youth program in person. And I have to switch everything to online courses. So it will be really a refreshing memory for me to interact with the students directly face-to-face. And I think that that experience will be very, very valuable for the students. And so though you can see that the tracks is actually switching year over year. So the overall structure, well, next slide, please. So the overall structure of this course is actually starting with the marketing and the strategy and operation and the finance. So in 2 years ago, 2020, we actually finished the marketing track. And last year, we started with the strategy track. And this year, we're going to go the finance track. So it's not going, well, during the summer camp, it's because of the time limited, we are not going to cover the whole track, but we do offer all the classes over the fall and the spring semester. So if you are interested, feel free to contact me and I'll contact Director Guo. And so we can help you to finish the required business education here. And so, but this year, we're going to focus on part of the finance. It's actually the business concepts. We're going to cover some of those. And then majorly, we're going to do a expanded F001, Fundamentals of Finance. And that will hopefully will open the financing area for the students. Okay, that's all. Thank you.
All right, so hi, my name is Felix, and I will be one of your counselors for the Business for Use. And one thing I must say about this is I've done this camp for, I think, 2 years, and this class was always the most interesting. It was very creative, and we got to do a lot of talking and a lot of cooperating with other people. And since I do century debate, it's quite interesting to talk with different people and manage it. So I would say I hope that I can make this class as interesting as it was for me.
Okay, hi again. I'm Michelle, and I was also a counselor for this class last year. And like I'm really involved in business clubs at my high school, and I've made it to nationals for DECA and BPA multiple times. So if any kids like want to ask me questions about that, they can as well.
Hey, hi, I'm Jonathan West, and I will be teaching fiction writing this year. And so I'll say a little bit about my education. And I grew up in Texas, and then I went to Trinity University, where I got a degree in dead things. That was back in the 1900s. Then I have a master's in religion. This was at Trinity, another Trinity in Illinois, Chicago area. And I narrowly missed the year 2000 graduating there. And then I have another, an MA in education that happened sometime later. Next slide. Okay, so I've been bossing people around about their writing since 2001. I was an editor for several years in different roles, and then a teacher, and I've been tutoring full-time in Rochester, both in person and online for many years now. I do have an igloo, but it does melt in the summer, so I have a regular house when that happens. So I have a very intense dog who drags me down the street daily. And don't be fooled by her fuzzy appearance. She's like a bloodthirsty bear. I also like to draw and I play puzzle games. So, but I really enjoy working with words and reading and writing. So it's going to be a lot of fun. Okay, next slide. So I have some questions for you potential students. Do you want to write stories that fill readers' heads with images that melt their brains? Do you want your readers to chew their fingers off before the next event of your story? Do you want your readers to believe your characters could actually walk the earth? Do you want your words to run down the chins of satisfied readers after they have slurped them down? So if this is the kind of thing you want to learn, then this is the class for you. We'll be going over what creates imaginary experiences, how to use energetic language. We'll be covering the basics of stories like character setting and plot, and dialogue and building suspense and that sort of thing. So I hope it'll be a really fun class. And I think this is something that that anyone could enjoy. So I hope to see you there. And that's it.
All right, I'm Golden. I'll be a junior next year, or like rising junior during the summer. You might have seen me doing the math stuff previous years for this camp, but actually I now doing writing somehow. I mean, I signed up for it, so I know you'll have a lot of fun. I know Mr. Jonathan's classes in the previous years have been a lot of fun and very interesting. So I hope you have a lot of fun with that. And I'm excited to help you through this course.
Hi, I'm Andrew Yann. I'm a senior, graduating senior at Century. I've always liked to read, and also writing some entries has been interesting. And I've taken like AP Lit and those sort of classes, and I'm looking forward to working with you all.
Hi, I'm Hans. I am also a graduating senior at Century. For me, I've taken several classes like AP Lit and AP Lang, and I'm interested in helping students communicate their ideas through writing this summer.
Hey everyone, my name is Ben. So first thing first, and hopefully my class can bring some really art for this camp photo with the title of our camp's name. So my short story about the photographer is when I had my first camera when I was 10. I have it for three days, have to return it because it was borrowed. Then after that, I really just fall in this hobby almost my entire life. So I started shooting really seriously probably from 1990s. That's still belong to the film age. After that, follow the techniques developed still shooting today, and most of the digitals I really enjoy. So for this class, I really hope everyone use those skills they learn here and to use it for remember the moment of your life. It doesn't matter the videos or the photos. So this is the class totally without the pressure, because we really don't have maybe the only class we really don't have any really clear goal there, right? But that's the truth, because no one can be a master of the photographer within one week. So the moment what we want to solve in this week is there are several key points here. So why we need to learn that, right? It's a moment we in our life we always want to remember that. It doesn't matter short videos or the photos, but there's gonna be a better way to remember that. So photo is one of them, and just use it the right way. To do that, we need to know how to do it with some basic knowledge to make your photo and videos looks better. And there's several general rules for most of the photos. When we take the videos, how we make everything looks like normal, like balanced, color matched. And when you try to take something new and you want to break the rules, and you want to know what the rules you break it, and that bring the impact for your images to your friends or when you share that through the social medias. And if you already have some skills and concept of photographer, you might want to improve it. And how you improve it, we can discuss over there. And also for some famous photos and photographers, we really want to know how to read and how to understand why they put the photo there. You know, just make our life is more wonderful thing to enjoy. Next slide, please. And here, actually, I want to address two main concerns about the people want to come to this camp. Do we really need the gears? Really take that very serious. Right? These two pictures is too extremely end for these questions. My answer is either of them. That doesn't mean smartphones cannot take the wonderful photos. And if you have the special gears, which can do more, but if you don't know how to use it, actually it doesn't matter. Next slide. Another question is, do we really want to know how to take the photos, and what if I'm just a beginner, like left side of the person, and or we have some skills and I already have knowledge of that. I know some of them might already know this guy. His name is Ansel Adams. He's one of the great photographer. His whole American history. We will talk about his story during the class, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter you are beginners or you already have some skills, and we also can discuss and ask those questions. We can discuss those questions during the class, and we can improve together. We can share some famous photos, good story about those photographers and how powerful the photos can be. And the next slide, please. And here, actually, I just want to drag some ideas before we start the campus week. I can ask the EE to help us to share the WeChat group for photographer class and exchange ideas what we exactly want to learn and how we want to do that. And any comments for what kind of concepts people most of concerned about the photographer, and also how to take the videos, even you want more like before taking the photos, or you want a little more skills about the processing the photos. Let me know what do you think, and we can discuss. We can also discuss if you do have the shopping list on your hand before you come into the camps. You want, oh, I want to bring some new gears, and maybe I can learn from more from the photographer. Let me know. I can help you at any time to prepare the shopping list. Yeah, thank you.
All right, so you're back on I'm back on your screen now. So yeah, basically the reason I'm doing this photography is because I always kind of a cliche story, but same like Professor Bin. My mom bought me a camera like when I was 10 or 11. So, and then I always got interested in photography. And plus the style I like to do is like dark type of photography, or like pictures of a certain thing. And so I know when you're doing photography, you want to you have something that you envision. And so I hope this class will help you be able to envision the stuff and to be able to either take the photo or make sure you can edit your photo so it can be as what you want it to be. And I hope you have fun in this class.
Hello, everyone. My name is Ethan. I'm currently a sophomore at Century. I will be a TA for this photography class. And regarding photography, I enjoy taking pictures from my outdoor walks. In particular, I like to document night life and to take pictures of unique weather patterns that I see outdoors. I hope to see you all in person and take some awesome photos with you guys and help you guys get the skills to be able to document your life.
All right, Hans again. For me, I'm the type of person that really likes to take pictures of like everything I see when I go on vacation, especially of architecture. So I know like the desire that people have to take really, really good pictures, and I'm excited to see what cool pictures are gonna surface during the camp.
Hi, everybody. This is Dr. Joe. Yeah, I have been teaching in this camp for like, this is going to be the 4th year. Yeah, I basically teach every summer camp in this camp. So a little introduced to myself is I graduated from USTC, and I have a major in modern physics. Then I come to US to get my PhD at the University of Houston, and doing theoretical computational physics. So yeah, at my high school time, I have been doing math and physics competitions. So it's been a long journey. So I have been like working on competition stuff for a really, really long time. So, and I have been teaching my own physics class for about, I think this is 7 or 8 years. And I have taught the AP Physics 1, AP Physics 2. I have a competition course for the F equals MA exam. Yeah, a lot of my students be able to pass the first round F equals MA exam and earn medals in the useful competition. Okay, except the math physics stuff, I also do a lot of long distance running. This year I have run my 8th Houston Marathon. So I'll be a veteran when I got 10. All right, next slide, please. So this time I'm gonna teach honor physics. So this is because I only have 1 week, and so I have just going to teach selected topics for physics. So for mechanics, I'm gonna teach, you know, Newton's law of motion, momentum, and energy. Yeah, some not going to harder stuff like angular momentum and things. Heat, talk about a little bit of thermodynamics, you know, and mainly heat transfer, and talk about the concept of temperature and something like that. For electromagnetism, I'll mainly talk about the circuits and introduce to magnetism. Also, for light, I choose light to be included in this course because nowadays it's much easier to do the light experiment. I'm gonna set up experiment with lenses and with laser, you know, it'll be very easy to see how the light reflect and refract. And then how are you able to calculate the image and the real image, the virtual image and stuff. So yeah, so I'm going to do quite a lot of experiments, hands-on experiments, and everybody will be able to do some experiment by themselves. That will be different from previous years, which is mainly lectures. In addition to those experiments, for those big experiments we are not able to do in the class, I'll show you some of the videos doing in the big experiment labs. Okay, next. So here, basically, is huge. It's a pretty, big experiment done in the lab. They got this huge chamber, and they are able to vacuum the whole chamber, and then see feathers and bowling balls are dropped at the same time, and they actually land on the ground at the same time. So it's yeah, anyone first time seeing that, it kind of amazing to actually see that. Nowadays people know that gravity pulling the object as a, doesn't depend on the weight or mass, but it's actually fascinating to see feathers are dropping at the same speed as balls. All right, next please. So here it's a very simple experiment we can demonstrate in the class. It's a wheel. Just because it's spinning, it will not drop like as you expected, right? You're expecting, because the central mass is not aligned with the string, and this thing should just drop. But it actually can balance like this very well. We're gonna talk about a little bit about how you look into the nature of these phenomena. All right, that's it for me. Hope you come to the camp and join the physics class.
All right, so hi, my name is Felix again. So I honestly quite like doing physics. Our physics teacher that from our century also teaches us through experiments, which I'm sure all of us who have had him all quite know and love, writing up those lab reports. But anyways, I've done Science Olympiad, which was in the events that surprisingly used physics, like Wi-Fi lab. Yeah. And I also took AP Physics 1. So yeah, that's a little about this.
Hello, I'm Maggie, and I'm a senior at Century High School. I TA'd for the physics class in last year's AOS camp, and yeah, I'm excited to work with the students.
Hi, I'm Jenny. I'm also a senior at Century. I took Physics 1 last year, and I'm in Physics 2 this year.
Well, hello. I'm Mr. Hanlon, but I'm more commonly known as Dr. Boom, a moniker I picked up through my most exciting demonstration, which would be filling a balloon with hydrogen gas and exploding it. It's nice to see a number of people that I know at the camp here, especially students. Some of them I've had as former students substituting. I taught high school chemistry for 40 years, and the last 22 were at Century High School, and I continue to substitute there as well. I've always felt kind of sad for my colleagues who teach mathematics, because I do mathematics, but I get toys to play with them as well. And that's what I love about science. We get to do the math and have various activities with hands-on equipment and so forth. I taught for the very first STEM camp when it was in person, but did not participate during the pandemic. And I have a wide range of experience teaching various levels of chemistry, but my approach has always been to develop critical thinking skills and applications to try to make abstract concepts more concrete by hands-on activities. Next slide. So we're going to, in this class, introduce some broad concepts. First of all, when we study what chemistry is, it's the interaction of matter and energy. And those are the two aspects. Everything around us, and as we know from Einstein's equation, they can be interchanged. But we're going to start with atomic structure and the very particle nature of the atom. And we'll be using some of the physics. How do we understand the nature of the atom? We study it through its interaction with light, through spectra, and through electromagnetic radiation. So you're going to get an overlap of chemistry, physics, and physical science. Next slide. Then as we build up from the basic particle nature, the atom, we develop into macroscopic properties. There's the physical nature of matter, the kinetic molecular theory, the gas laws will make a carbon dioxide launcher. We're not going to be inhaling helium. If you need your voice to change, there's other methods you can do that. But we will be studying gases and how they interact and various aspects of them, such as pressure, volume, applications of gases as well. Next slide. As you notice from my lab coat, my theme in many of the classes, and I have taught many STEM camps ranging for years, ranging from third graders up through high school students. But my theme has always been chemistry is colorful. And again, you have this interaction of light, color, and how it interacts with matter. The field of chromatography is very important, both for analysis. There's various methods of chromatography that can be used to analyze. I've done forensics activities with chromatography. And one of the activities I've done is making tie-dye patterns through the separation of various dyes. It can be used to analyze handwriting. Also, acid-base chemistry. There are many compounds that are natural acid-base indicators. One such compound is what we call purple cabbage. And a very simple activity, I've even had students do this at home, is boiling purple cabbage leaves in distilled water and then using that as acid-base indicators. So these various test tubes you see here are all purple cabbage with something you'd find around the house: baking soda, vinegar, pop, detergents, all these different things that we have around the house. Most of them are either acids or bases, and they have various strengths as well. So we'll talk about the pH scale as a way to measure the acidity and alkalinity of materials. Next slide. So we will also look at the interaction of matter and energy, how chemical reactions can either absorb energy, be what we call endothermic, and there's applications such as instant cold packs that you would find in a first aid kit, and other reactions that are exothermic, where they release energy, like the hand warmers that you might use when you're at a football game and it's very cold. Now, I doubt with our facilities that I'll be able to bring in thermite. The people at Carleton might be a little dismayed if I melted through one of their desks or something, but I'll just show you a video that I did my final year of teaching at Century. I spent a day in the forum with a colleague, and we call our program Fire and Ice. So I did a number of various exothermic reactions, and he did some stuff with liquid nitrogen. So we had a lot of fun. Can you click on the video there? So thermite is a mixture of iron and aluminum and iron oxide, commonly known as rust. It takes a little bit of activation energy to get it started. There's a thermite stick. This is molten iron here. If you want to come up, as long as you're careful, you can come up and take a look at it. And you have to activate it. So you have something that's sort of like a sparkler. You put that in there. Once it gets going, the energy of the reaction is enough to produce molten iron. And this reaction is actually used to weld railroad tracks. And my wife and I were staying at a motel once visiting someone, and I saw these guys with this equipment, and I asked them what they were doing. And then they said they were repairing railroad tracks, and they actually had the device where they would set up the thermite reaction over the crack or the place where they wanted to weld and put the liquid iron right down into that spot. So those kinds of things I find are very engaging for students, and whatever the concepts are that you're trying to teach, make them more real and more concrete. All right, next slide. And then the last thing that we're going to be doing is looking at reaction rates. And there's a very fun, interesting reaction in which the reaction occurs as soon as you mix the two reactants. However, you don't see a visible product until a certain time has passed. It's called a clock reaction because we can actually change the clock. We can set the clock. We can do various change various variables to make it go faster or to make it go slower. And we can even have a contest to see if you're able to hit a certain target time. But this is a short video on the clock reaction. So wow. This is some of you that have done the starch iodine test for starch in biology know that it forms this complex dark blue navy color, one of Century's colors. And I used to commonly do this reaction at homecoming time because the starch solution almost kind of has a silvery color to it because the starch is not totally soluble. So I would tell the students, well, this is the silver, I'm going to mix them and get the navy. And I'd mix it and they'd be waiting for something. They'd think that it went wrong, and all of a sudden, boom, it would change. So we'll have some fun no matter what we go over. That's what it's about. And I'm looking forward to meeting my TAs as well. Thank you.
All right, hi again, I'm Aurora. So I have taken a couple classes in chemistry, including AP Chem and I really enjoyed both like the math theoretical part of it and the hands-on laboratory part. I've also done like Chem Lab and Science Olympiad, and again, I'm looking forward to working with everyone this year.
Hi, it's Andrew again. I've had a lot of experience in like kind of science stuff. I've done in Science Olympiad, Science Bowl, I've captained for both. And in chemistry, I've taken AP Chem, and I've had a little bit of like basic intro stuff to organic and inorganic chemistry, but not super complicated stuff. But I'm looking forward to working with Mr. Handlin and the rest of you in this chemistry class, and see you at the camp.
I don't think Catherine's here. Leah, you can go ahead.
Hello again, my name's Leah. I've been interested in chemistry since elementary school, and I even memorized the periodic table since then. So I hope to see everyone else exhibit passion for chemistry, and I look forward to meeting everyone.
Hello, my name is Hao Hao, and I'm currently a senior at MIT studying biology. Currently in my senior year, I spend most of my time at the lab researching differentiation in acute myeloid leukemia. And so when I was in high school, I participated in various academic competitions. And so I am a big fan of like buzzer style races and all types of trivia. And so that's something that I try to incorporate into my classes as well to make them more interesting. And I've also been teaching biology for, I think, almost 6 years now through various in-person and online opportunities. Next slide. And so I will be leading the Honor Biology course, and this course is designed to introduce high school level biology to students that have little to no background in this subject. And so it is completely okay if you've never taken a biology course before. And so through this class, students will learn the fundamentals of biology and gain an understanding of how biology shapes the world around us. And so some of the topics that we're going to cover, so this isn't exactly like a day-by-day breakdown of the topics, but it is a general, it's more of a progression of topics. So we'll start from basics of biochemistry as well as cellular structure and function, and basically we will begin by learning how cells work on a cellular and microscopic level, and we will start to put these pieces together to learn and better understand how these cells interact with each other and work together to form entire organisms, such as animals or plants. And so now that we have this in-person opportunity to have this camp at St. Olaf's, we will be doing a lot of experiments in our classes. And so some of the things that we will be able to do, which are both safe and fun, include extracting DNA. So we will be extracting DNA from fruits, and if so desired, you can also extract your own DNA, but I will talk about that during the class itself. We'll also be looking at these microscope images of different cells. Something that I have always thought was missing from my high school biology experience was exposure to more images such as these that are from a microscope rather than just illustrated diagrams. I think it is really important to be able to make the connection between those diagrams and what you would actually see in real life under a microscope. And so that's something that we will also be looking at. And since we are in person, we also have the opportunity to work in groups. And so we will have some small projects that people can work on together, such as building models of the cell. And so these can be either models that are drawn, or they could be origami, or they could be food, whatever creativity that the students come up with. Next slide. And so we will also be taking advantage of the in-person experience by doing some things outside. So I hope to do a couple of experiments where we collect our materials from the St. Olaf's campus, and students will also have the opportunity to make their own microscope slides and take them home as a souvenir. And so we will be looking at, as I mentioned before, both actual microscope images as well as diagrams, and students will also have the opportunity to learn to design diagrams on their own. And the experiment aspect of the classes will also give students the opportunity to practice designing an experiment and thinking through what their thesis is, what their independent and dependent variables are, and how to apply the knowledge that they learn, the textbook knowledge that they learn, to actual experimentation. And so if you've ever taken a class with me before or know anyone who's taken a class with me, you might know that I am also a huge fan of Kahoots. And so this is something else that we will be having in our classes to help make biology more fun and to make memorization a little more easy.
Oh, so Leo is not here today. He has been our camp student at the first year in person, and then camp counselor afterward for the math class. Just like Golden, they are choosing to do different class for this year. So Maggie, you can go ahead.
I'm Maggie. I took AP Biology as a junior, and I've also done science fair for 2 years. So I'm sure this class will be very fun, and I'm looking forward to meeting everyone.
I'm Jenny. I'm a senior at Century, and my major for college was neurobiology.
Well, hello everyone. My name is Timothy. There's a lot of text on this slide, so I'll just do the quick overview. Overview is I am an undergraduate at University of Alabama studying mathematics and chemistry. I got involved in this camp initially more on the math side, done a lot of various math competitions, and then I've been coding for around 10 years now or so, and that is the topic I'll be working on. I was a TA for the camp the first couple of years, and then I started teaching it at it last year, but this will be my first in-person camp teaching, so I'm very excited to have that experience. Next slide. So why take this class? So first of all, I think most of you probably already know this, but programming is a really powerful tool that you use in almost every discipline, especially STEM areas, but even beyond that. There's almost no area, even if you don't go into computer science, there's almost no area you will go into where this isn't an extremely useful tool that will help aid your exploration into other disciplines. This course will kind of provide the foundation that a typical programming class would take to just provide students with that basic skill set that you need to be able to apply coding to a variety of different real-world situations. It's designed for students with little to no prior coding experience. If you have any questions about this versus the Intro to UASCO class, you can send an email to Yi and she can give you my email, and we can kind of talk about what would be the appropriate level for you. Next slide. Okay, so this is just a fun comic I thought I put up there. When you take my class, I'll start every lecture with an XKCD comic because they have so many good ones related to coding. All right, so the main two goals of this class are going to first be to essentially add some more tools to your toolbox. So learning the individual tools for how to tell the computer to do specific things. And so this will be kind of all the typical foundational things listed on the screen for an intro to programming course. But the second part of this class is, I think, one of the most important ones that is often overlooked in maybe a class you typically take in school or some sort of online class often, and that is learning how to use these tools. If you're doing carpentry, for example, it doesn't really help if you have a hammer and a saw if you don't know how to actually use them to make your finished product. And so it's similar with coding. And so a lot of this class is going to emphasize learning how do we use what we've learned? How do we take these various tools, be presented with a problem, and apply them to solve it? So the way we'll be doing this in terms of the actual format in the class is very much a project-based structure. So more specifically for the first week or so, the first half of the class, I will introduce a new topic. We'll do this in a very interactive way. I'll present some questions and we'll look at what tools might exist to solve this particular question. And then we'll transition for the end of the class into a more workshop time, where I'll give some various problems and students will be able to explore these on their own, and I'll kind of be assisting, helping people brainstorm how to apply what we learned to specific situations. This will probably transition even to the end of the second week, where we'll kind of take a deep dive into some specific projects. So what I did in the last camp is I actually put a poll out, and the students recommended just some cool projects that they would love to know how to program. And I kind of synthesized those, picked a few good ones that would kind of teach a lot of useful concepts too. And then we worked on those together as a class. So I'll definitely be incorporating an element like that too. But really, the reasons behind this is, first of all, it's a lot more fun and engaging. And I think if I can instill, it's only a 2-week camp, but if I can instill, in addition to the baseline knowledge and love of programming, that will encourage people to continue exploring in future years. I consider that a huge success. But also, I think by doing this project-based method, it helps emphasize how to actually take these abstract concepts and apply them to the real world, how to actually use everything we've learned to solve a problem, to solve some question, to apply to some other discipline that you're interested in. So that is the class, and I can go ahead and introduce the TAs.
So I think Zoe is traveling. She has been she's a senior at Central High School as well. And I think in college, she wants to study computer science. She has been our math club coach for 5 years, and she really loves teaching. Michael, you can go ahead.
Hi, I'm Michael. I'm also a senior at Century High School, and I've been a Rochester Math Club counselor for a while now. Like Zoe, I've also taken plenty of computer science courses in high school and am a prospective computer science major. So looking forward to meeting y'all and working with you.
Hey, hello, I'm Daniel. I'm a freshman at MIT. I was a USACO finalist, so hence I'm teaching USACO. So I also participated in various other programming contests, such as like say the Google Code Jam or like Code Forces. I've taught like Java and like algorithms and basics of like that for like around like 500 hours in my high school years, with more than like 100 enrollments in the past. I've also made 48 YouTube videos that teach Java and CS with Daniel. So if you want to see like my teaching style, of course it like there won't be students there, but like you at least get to see like with my teaching style if you like want to. And I also taught for this like throughout the fall and like spring and like summer, like online, like I taught this like bronze. I also taught silver. Each class, like the class, like my class, like around like there were like around 20 students. In my free time, I like so I like to like program. I do research. I like to do like I mean, I guess I also do like card and board games. I also did like program some video games, but like not really that recently. And also in addition to like programming, like I also did like math contests. Yeah. Next slide. All right, so this class emphasizes basically, so there's a programming aspect. There's also like a problem solving aspect, because a lot of times when you receive a problem, you don't like, there's like how would you like solve the problem like in general, and then there's also the programming aspect, which is also important. And I will also like go into like, in addition to like solving a problem, sometimes you might need to like be kind of efficient. I'll kind of go over that. That'll be definitely more useful in the higher levels. And it's also definitely going to be useful if you want to pursue like computer science in college. And so, yeah. So students like, I recommend they like took like AP Computer Science A or like watch my videos if like they don't like. So like I recommend like this says must, but I'm not like no one's checking for any of these. I'm just like saying I recommend like you have a solid programming like basic programming like foundation, and like so like if you got a 5 on the AP, then that's fine. If you like otherwise I have to make sure like you should like for the maximum benefit if you are familiar with so variables, if else, loops, arrays, methods, or like functions in other like they call it functions in other languages, classes, that stuff, like you should be like pretty familiar with that stuff because I'm not going to spend like a lot of time covering those. I have my like channel like link here. Like it's just called CS with Daniel, so you could search that. Also, I have exercises like corresponding to it. If you search like CS with Daniel, like there should be like a YouTube link and then a GitHub link. GitHub like has the problems, and the YouTube has like that. So yeah, and these are like recommended prerequisites, but like if you have these, then this is like better for you. You'll get more out of this. Next slide. And I guess if you like don't have that, then you could like start picking up like concepts through my channel or through like somewhere else. I mean, I have okay, the first 3 levels, I recommend like at least the first 3 levels had 36 videos. There's a total of 48. It's good if you also do the other 12, but anyway, if you don't have time, then I recommend this. There's a problem set for each video. I guess, and in general, like when doing problems, like programming problems, or honestly STEM problems in general, doing problems before viewing the solutions is probably good, but then you should also view the solutions once you're done with the problems. If like some of the concepts are too easy, just like skip to the next video or lesson. Like if you already have some knowledge of like if you're thoroughly familiar with like loops, then and like if else variables stuff, maybe you can like skip those lessons. If you're familiar with everything, then like that's good. Next slide. Oh, okay. I guess like this, yeah, this is just like a sample of like how like this of like my videos, like in case, I guess don't play the entire video because also it might be a bit soft.
Why
Like,
not just use one print statement?
yeah,
something
okay.
called while
I
loop?
guess the Zoom audio
While
is not
loop
like my
is
videos are
something
like maybe
that
a bit soft
basically
in like the
repeats the
audio.
code
Like if you
inside
turn the volume
until
up,
the
you
given condition inside the parentheses
it'll be
is
good.
false.
But
So in this case,
yeah, so this is like
this while
generally
loop,
like what
when
my videos
num1
like,
exceeds
I guess
100,
are like. So next.
suppose you wanted to print the integer.
Right, so the course itself, obviously, should talk about that. So I plan to go over around like 40 to 50, based on like what I like covered online. I think approximately should be able to go over like that many. There's this is just like very roughly. Students will read the problem. I'll make sure they understand the problem. Students like. Because like thinking about how to approach a problem is also like very important, especially in contests and stuff. Like programming is only like often programming is like half the problem, and like thinking about how to do the problem is the other half. Actually, sometimes programming is like only 10% depending on the problem, especially in higher levels. So thinking about how to do the problem is like really important. We'll go over, we'll discuss. And students, like for many of the problems, I'll like give students time to like program, and maybe if they have like run into like problems, we can help them. I will give a full solution. Sometimes I may like put some bugs either purposely or not purposely. So like students can learn debugging as well, which is like also important, and a correct solution will always be offered at the end. So yeah, the next slide. Like, so what's the benefit of doing the camp instead of the online class that I've like also like taught like here? So well, one, it's more personal. So if a student has like a very specific question, it might be like a lot easier to answer the question. Also, like it's just a lot more interactive. And another thing is that I guess students like it's easier to pay attention when you're like on site rather than like online. Like I think many of you, like many students like have felt that like online learning, like sometimes it's a lot harder to pay attention. So that's another benefit to being on site. And also, is this class beneficial for students who don't want to pursue competitive programming? Well, if you don't want to, like, this is like if you don't want to pursue like really high levels of competitive programming, this can still definitely benefit you in like problem solving, like in computer science. And if you want to pursue competitive programming, then obviously this thing should help because it's geared towards that as well. Okay, so yeah, that's it for me.
Hi everyone, I'm Joseph. I'm a sophomore at UPenn. I'm currently studying to major in biochemistry and biophysics. I've done the USACO competition in my time in high school. I believe ended at gold. So I have a lot of programming experience under my belt, and really looking forward to TAing for this class.
Is Kevin
Oh.
here? Yeah.
Yeah, I'm here. Hi, my name is Kevin Yang. I am a senior at Wayzata High School, and I've been interested in computer science since I took the AP Computer Science in our high school. And since then, I've taken, a computer science class at the University of Minnesota through PSEO. And I have worked on numerous projects on my own. I made a Discord bot to respond to other people's bad words when they put bad words into messages. And I've also created a program to solve Wordle. So while I don't have too much experience with UASCO, hopefully I can be some help, and I'm excited to TA for this course.
It has been it's really wonderful for everyone, all the teachers, to share how they design their class, about themselves, and then also we heard everything about the counselors. So one of our camp philosophy is we always recruit the teacher and counselor who are very passionate about whatever they are teach, and then also about like the subject and about life. So I'm going to have a few more slides to talk about the camp itself, and then we'll have a Q&A session at the end. So we will have, other than all the learning during the day, this year we don't have the study hall at the evening, so all the homework will be done during the class, and then at the evening we're going to have fun as listed here. We'll have like ice cream social, and we'll have different sports events, and we can use the swimming pool twice, and we'll have board game, and on the Saturday in the middle we'll have team building event, and then we'll have like movie night and everything. And if you have something else you really want to do, you can also let us know. We may be able to fit it into the schedule. So all the students will be put into counselor groups, and you already see we have so many excellent counselors, and then the counselor will take the students to different class and activity throughout the day. And we will also, because the St. Olive College, the cafeteria is so good. And last year, the first year when we did it, 2019, actually students gained some weight within a week. So this year, we are going to have an optional morning run. Felix, you can go ahead.
Yeah, so running is, I just really like running. Good endurance is kind of, I'm sure a lot of people do sports here, and good endurance is a necessary component to any sport. And yeah, there are countless more benefits. You can search them up online, so I won't go over it here. But so I will lead a morning run each day. It will be about a mile around the so beautiful St. Olaf campus. It would be before breakfast. The runs are completely optional, but running is a very good way to start a day. It clears my mind and it makes me more or less energized. So at the end of the camp, we will have a 1 mile race. Just the normal course we will plan on running. And the winner probably gets bragging rights. And bragging rights are very important. I put a little quote down here. Running is the greatest metaphor for life because you get out of it what you put into it. And so this is our campus map. It's a very beautiful campus, and as you can see, there's kind of like a little road that goes around it and around the campus. And as you can see, it's kind of on a hill. So our running course will pretty much stay on top of the hill because hill running is brutal and dreadful.
Thank you, Felix. He is also our he's in the running club at our high school, and also I think Dr. Joe will also help with the running part. He always run like marathons. So for traveling to the camp, the MSP, the Minneapolis St. Paul International Airport, is the most close one you fly to, and then we reserve the shuttle with the Northfield Shuttle Company to pick up and then also send the students to the airport on the Sunday before and the Saturday after, and we will tell you like the particular time you need to book your flight. So then we have 4 shuttles each day. We'll have our staff at the airport greeting the student and then take the student on, go with the student to the bus from the airport to the campus and also departure the campus to the airport. And St. Olaf is a very pretty, has very pretty campus. And the left picture is our dorm building. And then it has a lot of trees. And then for parents who come with the students as escort, you have like a lot of place you can do your online working. And then they have very nice facility for classrooms and for sports. So as you all know, after this 2 year of pandemic, finally this year, many of the summer camp are back in person. And for almost all the summer camp in person, there's the COVID policy with like fully vaccination and everything. We have this information on our website, and we will request you to submit your vaccination document before the camp so we can send it to the school. And if for any particular students you have very specific reason, we will have to report the case to the camp, to the school COVID committee to make sure they can approve that. So as a summary, you can go to rmcacademy.org to register. The early bird discount will end to the end of April. And for the students who already paid and registered, we send you Canvas invitation. That's the platform we will post information. And also during the camp, we will have like our class material and those kind of things post. And we will send out the math assessment test in May. It's a typo here. And then you will have like 2 months to work on it. And for register for the math class, we basically let you register based on your own math level, but we also will take a look of your assessment test. If we feel like it's not appropriate, we'll discuss with you. And later on, we'll have a Discord information will be sent for students to communicate. There's a WeChat group for parents and students to communicate before and during the camp as well. And we'll also collect information to make the yearbook. We hope to see you this summer.